on Riverbend Springs. HK discusses that the greenhouse's cost was larger than he expected. For the challenge, he has backed himself in a corner where now he has to rely on big money contracts. He took on a green bean harvest and a baling contract in hopes of a good payday. However, the green bean harvest ended up taking all day. HK was able to complete the contracts over 2 days, and the episode finished with him mulching his own field. Let's see what he's up to now.
What's up, all? Welcome back to Riverbend Springs on the 5-Acre Challenge. I think we need to name our farm. So I'm going to name the farm Meadow Springs Farm. That sounds good. Especially since I'm going to be putting in grass and sheep, or not sheep, goats, and working it through there. So I think that's going to be the name of our farm, Meadow Springs Farm. So, quick shout out, thank you to all of our new subscribers to the channel. Thank you so much for your support. And for all you newer players that are watching or viewers, please like and subscribe to the channel and share it if you can. I am trying to grow the channel. I'm just under 100 subscribers. So that's really awesome. The channel's starting to grow. Today's goal, objective, we want to get grass in the field today. Today's episode, there's no contracts. It's 100% field work on our own field. We are fighting rain that's coming in, so we are going to have to get a lot done before that rain comes in. I think it's going to come in about 3-4 hours. So I am going to do some off-camera work. It's going to be done here momentarily. As soon as we get done with this pass, I am going to jump off-camera and cut back in once the field is completely cultivated. We still have a lot to do. But that's the goal for today. Possibly even get the goats in, because I know it takes a month to get the grass, meadow grass, to grow in. And I don't want to have to buy feed for the goats. I would rather the meadow grass be there. We'll be back in a few once the field is done. Alright, we got all that cultivating done. Let's bring this up over here and clean the cultivator. And then we're off to the next project, which, now that we've cultivated, the next step is going to be getting a planter, or a seeder, sorry, to seed some grass in it. So that's what's next. Alright, that looks clean to me. So let's go and pop that back in, and I'll meet you guys back up at the store when we get in for the seeder. Alright, let's get this back here. As you can see, it's still September 3rd. We have $27,854. So, the rented equipment that we had previously is still here, which is fine. We'll get all of that turned in today, hopefully. The only contract that I accepted and completed was the belling contract. All of this is still left over from the green bean harvest that took all day yesterday on the 2nd. So let's go ahead and jump over here. We need to see what they have for seeders. So let's jump into the store and see what we can find over here. Alright, so we have this one here that's $33,500. That looks like it's the cheapest one. Yeah, it's definitely cheaper. Let's see, it's got to work with a 3 meters. Seed capacity is 600 liters. Yeah, I think this is going to be the one that I'm going to go with. So let's go ahead and lease it. $1,708. Oh, we need to get seed as well. Let's see. So that one gives us $1,050. Those are each $1,000 for the same price. Might as well get the same price, a little bit more, 50 more liters. So let's go ahead and buy one of those. Alright, so let's get the seeder hooked up and get the seeds in. It is a smaller seeder. We are working with smaller equipment. Granted, we don't have a very large field as it is, so it'll be okay. But as I said in the last episode, we're going to lease items responsibly, because after spending $22,000 on that greenhouse, I wasn't necessarily spending my money responsibly, and it's not going to help me in the long run to achieve the goal. So we got the seed in. Not all of it fit here, but that's okay. We can come back later and pick up the rest of it to take it down to the farm, because they won't let me leave it up here at the shop. But yeah, we haven't really 100% been spending our money responsibly for this challenge. The end goal of this challenge is at the end of 3 years, we have to have $250,000, and we have to have a buildable house. And I know the buildable houses can be upwards of $300,000 as well, if you're buying the material. Now, I'm going to try to not buy the material. I'm going to try to produce it myself as best as I can. So, but that's still a lot of money that I've got to try to do within 3 years, and only allowed 3 contracts a month. So, but I think we can do it. We're only on technically day 4 of the challenge, so still an early start, but we'll see what we can come up with. Now, grass is what I'm going to plant in that area, because I'm thinking, in addition to the greenhouse, in addition to the goats, the grass is going to help me in 2 ways. One, it's going to allow me to feed the goats during the winter months when the meadow grass isn't growing. And 2, it's also going to allow me to turn it into silage and get some extra money there as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the grass planting. Now for this one, I am going to throw it into a time lapse. While I do it, I'll do a few passes over here on this side. That way I don't gotta drive out into the road every single time I'm going to turn around and whatnot. So let's go ahead and get this down. Not using GPS this time, just because I want to see if I can get it done any quicker, doing it a little bit older school way like we had to in FS22. Max speed is 7 on this, and it's only, what was it, 3 meters, 4 meters? It's going to take a little bit of time. So it's what, 1:16 now, and the rain's supposed to come either at 4 or 5 if I remember correctly. So let's hope that we can get it done before that. Let's go ahead and start the second pass. Getting it done. It's not using too much seed. I've only used 5 liters of seed thus far. That means that we're going to have lots of seed left over that we're probably not necessarily going to use as much. That's okay. We'll figure something out. Alright, we're going to go and throw it into a time lapse. I'll see you guys in a few. Alright, finishing up this last pass. 525 liters left, so we only used 23% of our seed. Interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and unload the seed from here, and we're going to jump back up to the store. I'm not going to clean it right now. I'll get that when we bring the seed back here in a little bit. Alright, back up. We're going to get the seed loaded. Now, just to throw this out there, I know in the time-lapse it did say there was some issues with AI workers. Just throwing it out there, I did not hire any AI workers. It's just every time I turned around, I button pushed that when I was trying to lower it. But I actually did the field. I did not hire AI workers. You see my money is still at $24,886 as it was at the start of that. Just throwing that out there. Alright, so next we need to get a roller. So let's see what they have for rollers. We've only got two types. Obviously going to go with the cheap one at $46,500. Leasing it's $2,371. Let's go ahead and get that leased. Alright. Money's just going down. $22,514. They say you got to spend money to make money, but let's just hope this is all a good investment. So I'm going to get attached to it, and I'll meet you guys back down at the farm. Alright, we're back. And you know what? I think I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm not going to use GPS. I got to start getting used to not using GPS. I wanted to really play around with it at the beginning, so I understood how to use it and whatnot. But again, when I buy my own stuff, it may not have GPS because I might not be able to afford that feature. So we're going to do it by hand and without it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this and start rolling the field. If the rain is going to be in, I did double check, it's going to be coming in at 4, so we have 8 minutes until the rain gets in. Luckily we got the seed in the ground, so the rest of the stuff that we have to do, the rain's not going to affect us too much other than making the field a little bit more muddy, but that's okay. After we get done rolling, we will need to throw on our second layer of fertilizer, and then from there we will have to come in, and if it still says that we need a weed, then we'll have to weed. We'll check when we get done rolling what all is left on the field that we need to do from there, but we'll see what's required. With it getting as late as it is, we don't know if we're going to get that goat pen in or not. I would still have to go talk to Katie and purchase the goat pen and get that put in, so don't think that's going to happen this episode, which means I'm going to have to buy at least one bale of hay or grass or something to hold them over for the month of October. So that's not going to be too much fun, but one bale isn't too much. And here's the rain. It's 4 o'clock, right on schedule, right where it said it was coming. So that's okay. Doesn't seem to be too bad yet for the field. I'm not quite slipping yet or anything like that. I'm kind of worried that this dirt field over here is going to potentially get pretty muddy and tracked up though. We'll just have to wait and see. I think maybe 2 or 3 more passes with the rolling, then we'll be done with that. Also, I failed to mention when I did the time lapse, the whole point of me doing those first couple lines before the time lapse started was so I wouldn't have to turn around in the road, and that plan fell completely through. As soon as I started, every single time I turned around in the road. So that was wasted time. But it was a good thought to begin with. Oh, took out that sign. Said he was going to get mad at me for that. Oops. Maybe I can go try and put it back in myself. But then again, I probably should have done the field a little bit different too, where it wasn't all the way up close to the road and maybe like in the middle of the land, but it's okay. Oh, we still got to get a water source for the greenhouse too. Noah's been really awesome and has allowed me to continue to use his tractor for my own work on my field. So I really appreciate him doing that. He understands, I guess, that I'm new, but every time I continue to use his equipment and whatnot after the challenge, he says that I owe him something. So there may be a point where he asks me for a favor and I have to jump and say, yes sir, I'll do it. But I don't mind helping him out. It's probably going to do with something with lumber or something, since he's the lumberjack here in town. But we'll do what we got to do, you know. I really need to start thinking about getting my own tractor as well. Let's get that folded up. That's done. Let's get it over here and clean. I know it's kind of counterproductive cleaning in the rain. Wouldn't the rain do it? But I feel that I still need to do it because it's part of the requirements of the challenge. I must clean all equipment that I lease and work on my field. Don't have to do it for contracts, but I do have to do it for my own stuff. So, let's see. Get this front part. Alright, that looks clean. Let's go put that back in. Alright, so I'll meet you guys back up the store as I pick up the fertilizer. Yep, 77% yield bonus, fertilize 50%. Okay, see you in a few. Alright, we're back with the fertilizer. Let's get some fertilizer in it. Now, based off of looking at the field just before we went up to the store, it doesn't look like we're going to have to weed it. So, looks like this fertilizing is going to be the last bit that we have to do. So, let's go ahead and get that in and start fertilizing. The rain's really starting to come down now as well. I think I'm going to go ahead and jump back to GPS for this one, just to try and maximize the spraying capacity of the fertilizer. Try and salvage as much of it as I can. This is all that I have, and I know that I'm going to have to continue to use fertilizer. So I also want to start thinking about realistically what type of tractor I'm going to get. I think I'm going to get one that has a front loader attacher to it. That way I can move the goat's mount when it comes out, because that's in pallet form. But it also needs to be powerful enough to continue to run fertilizer, so I am going to have to continue to fertilize the grass field. It's also going to need to be powerful enough to run that used mower that we have over there, and eventually, since I did get the larger mower because it was on sale, if I want to get its counterpart for the back, it's got to be large enough to run that as well. And I think those two combined require a tractor of at least 350 horsepower. So that's going to be kind of tricky. I don't necessarily need multiple tractors, so if I can get one that will do it all, that will be a good sign for us. That way we're not having to spend a bunch of money on a bunch of tools. As for harvesters and this and that, I don't necessarily plan on planting any fields other than the grass, because I only have this area. Maybe later on in the challenge, if we decide to get more animals, such as like chickens or something like that, where we have to try to produce our own feed, then we can look at then getting one. But even then, leasing may be the better option there. We'll just kind of see where this challenge takes us. But that's something definitely that I need to look into. Okay, I think that's completely done. Got this little corner over here that I need to hit. It's done. And I think we'll just drive around real quick just to make sure that we got everything. Oh, we got this little corner right there. There we go. Alright. So, let's go ahead and get this up here and get our fertilizer out. I'm going to put it up back by the tree. I think I want to put it a little bit closer to the tree this time from before it was on the concrete there. I want to put it right next to the tree in the concrete. About right there should be good. Yeah, that's perfect. Right, let's get over here and clean it. %, yield bonus. Awesome. So that's gonna work for us. Alright, get this clean. Alright, so from here I am gonna take this back up to the store and drop it off, and then I need to get the seeder back with our seed. So I think that's gonna be the next thing. I'll see you in a few. Alright, so we got the seeder back over here. I need to remember to clean the seeder after I drop off the seed. So we're going to try and put it right over here next to the other one, maybe right in front of it. Space, let's go forward a little bit. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and get this over here and clean it before I forget. Out. Rain's still going. It's 5:30. It's been raining for about an hour and a half now. We're completely done with our field though. We got the grass in, so we did that. We're at $22,509. So we didn't spend too much money. And we still have the around $10,000 contract to collect from Noah's green bean harvest. I guess I might as well go ahead and clean the tractor while I'm here. Let's go and get over on this side. Get all that cleaned up. There we go. Back in the window. Wheels. Right. Yeah, I think that looks clean. Oh, missed spot right there. Cool. One quick spray on that. Let's go ahead and put that up. Make sure that's turned off. Alright, well, let's go back up to the store. I'll meet you guys there as we turn all this stuff in and collect on the contract. Alright, back up the store. Finally. Alright, so it's 5:38. 22,502 is what we currently have. That contract should take us just over 30,000, just like I speculated. The two contracts we do with our field work would put us just over that 30,000, so that's awesome. So we'll have to start thinking about, I don't necessarily want to do like big contracts, but start thinking about our process on our building aspirations that we have. Alright, 33,361. So we collected on that. Let's go ahead and start returning the tools. So that was the fertilizer. We're going to go ahead and return the cultivator. the mulcher, the seeder, and then finally the roller. So everything is returned back. Alright, now it's supposed to rain through most of the night now, and it's already 5:50, almost 6 o'clock. So I don't think there's much left for us to do today. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the next episode as we drive back home. Next episode is going to be October 1st. We can start doing contracts again. So we'll definitely jump in and do a contract just to continue to increase money. But I want to start thinking about materials needed to build. And I know the buildable house is going to require concrete. Not looking to get the concrete or cement factory yet, but stones is what's needed to do that. So I think probably going to spend time on contracts trying to collect stones for that. I don't want to install the debris crusher for $99,000 that just gives you free stone. I think that would make the challenge way easier, so I'm not about that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try and collect all the stones needed to make our cement and stuff off of what we collect off the fields. I'm also going to try and get in a water source for the greenhouse. Start thinking about what we're going to do for that, as well as the goat pen. So that's all what I plan and hope that we can get done in the next episode. I guess it really depends on how long the contract takes us to do, and hopefully there's going to start being some stone picking contracts for us to be able to do that. But I think that's where we're going to end this episode, is here. So thank you guys again so much for sticking with me and watching the channel. Really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and share if you would like. Remember, comment down below on what I can do to improve or how your 5-acre challenge is going. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace.